Welcome to An Empowered Woman. I'm Desiree Dubois, founder of Empowered Woman, and we are a global membership-based networking community and resource center for women entrepreneurs and professionals. We support women in starting, fixing, and building their businesses through our web radio shows, TV shows, mastermind meetings, seminars, and awesome live events. And today I have the pleasure of being with Susan Bock. Good afternoon, Susan. How are you today?
Great, Desiree. And you?
I'm fine. Do you feel empowered?
Absolutely. How could I not being with you?
Thank you. Thank you. So you're a speaker and a coach, but you're specifically a discovery coach.
Yes.
Tell us about that. That's unique.
The short version is I spent the first half of my life trying to be someone else. I would copy others, I would mimic others, I would try to be someone that somebody else wanted me to be. This half of my life, after a big wake-up call, I now am discovering who I am. So when I'm coaching women, it's to help them discover who they are, because each one of us is incredibly unique. We have an unusual combination of gifts, skills, and talents, and I want every woman to be able to tap in to her personal power.
But you know, do people, and specifically women, do they know when they're not living that life, that honest, authentic life? Do most of them know that?
I think there's a suspicion. I call it my intuition. And one of the things that I had to get back in touch with was my intuition, because it was telling me that I needed to wake up and stop trying to be someone else, that who I was absolutely the way it was supposed to be. But I chose not to listen to that intuition. I chose to listen to the head committee, the conversations that are nonstop and not always inspiring. My head committee was not my biggest cheerleader. And once I decided to stop listening to that and to tune into what my intuition wanted, that's when I began to become empowered.
Wow, but you know, there must be certain tell signs, certain signals that one should start identifying with to find out, yes, I am, you know, being empowered, or I'm not living up to my estimation. What are some of those?
There's three. The first one I would say is complacency. The second one is when you are not living in your magnificence and you feel that you are settling for less than what you could be. And the third one is boredom.
Wow.
Bored with what you're doing, with what you're living, with what your life is.
And so when they discover that, then what's one of the first steps?
That is the first step, is the discovery. It's the awakening, Desiree, and the realization that they can be more, that we can be more than what we are. I would love to meet the woman who has surpassed her potential. That's my goal, is to meet her. That's what I would aspire to do. And that's what I want my clients to do, is to actually step into their potential and live in that place of empowerment.
What are some of the tools that you use for them, help them accomplish that?
I have an assessment called Building Your Self Muscles, and it's an assessment that you evaluate the strength of your self muscles, starting with self-awareness all the way through self-worth. And then we create literally an exercise program around your score to build the self muscles and strengthen those that, we'll say, need some special attention.
So how long does that take? I can imagine it varies depending on to what degree, but usually.
That process can be done in one session, one coaching session. The assessment's taken prior to the call, and then either person to person or on the phone, we go through and create a plan for you. If you want to have follow-up conversations, we can certainly do that. But it's easy once you know what to do. Anything is easy when you have the path. When you don't know what to do is when it becomes complicated or difficult.
Also many times expensive and painful, because of the time loss of life and loss of work and loss of other values that could be in your life.
Absolutely.
So you can work with people all over then? You do it by telephone and stuff, for anyone, anywhere?
That's right.
And it can be done really quickly, which
Very.
is awesome. So there's no reason for anyone to stay in that space any longer than they need to.
Only if they choose to.
Really?
The choice is theirs.
Wow. Well, I can see, again, it makes a big difference in their lives, but also, what would you like to share with our listeners then today? What closing thought would you like to share with them as far as making that move and making that change?
I'll borrow a quote from Mae West. Mae West said, "We only live once, and if you do it right, once is all that you need." So I invite you to do it right, to get the most out of life you possibly can, to become empowered, as you are inviting so many women around the world to do, Desiree. That's a tremendous gift that you're giving to women. It's an invitation for them to become more than they are.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. So I encourage everyone to take advantage of that. They can contact you and they can make a assessment over the telephone.
Yes.
And then be able to go from there.
Absolutely.
Thank you for offering that gift to everybody.
More than welcome.
And I want to thank you for joining us today. This has been An Empowered Woman, and I'm Desiree Dubois. If you have any further questions, you can contact us. But until then, stay empowered.